I went to Wimbledon Art College, and then I went for a foundation course, and then I went to Cardiff to do my degree in fine art, and I moved back to London, where I'm from, and I wanted to make paintings about the city, really, so I thought, I tried to think of how that was possible to do, and how I could do that best, and I guess my main inspiration kind of came from William Hogarth, who my dad introduced me to his work as a small boy, and I always loved that work. I didn't really understand the kind of complexity of it and the depth of ideas at the time. I just responded to the kind of visual sort of layering of characters and expressions, and I guess that was my primary sort of intention, to try and make a sort of a modern day version as close as I could get to that kind of level of genius. And it took me a while before I was able to kind of have the confidence to stand in the street and draw the things that I was seeing, but after a few years that kind of became easier, and I started to understand that was the main way that I was going to get the inspiration that I needed was by standing in the street and drawing what I saw. So yeah, I guess thinking about Hogarth and a lot of the Renaissance painters that I like at the National Gallery, those are my influences, really. And my work is a kind of synthesis of those people, and the music and the books that I read about London, and the music that I listen to in the studio, and songs and stories, and I guess it's a kind of narrative response to the city, really. I guess London will always be my muse, really, because that's the place that I know best. And when you live somewhere for a lifetime, you kind of see that place change and grow, and you change with it as well. So that's a very interesting thing now, is the fact that I'm painting places sometimes that I've already painted before, but from a different part of a different view of the city. So I'll see other places that I painted a few years ago, and that part of the city has changed. People are maybe slightly different. There's something different happening, but your memories of it are still perhaps linked to the past and the things that happened to you in the past in that place. So that's a really interesting development in the work as I've grown up in the city. Love and hate of the city is a real part of it. My work is a celebration of the city, but in being a celebration, it celebrates what I see as the things that I love about the city. But equally, there's a darkness there too. There's that side of the city that is really tough and really hard, and especially these days, because I really feel there's a very big divide in the city, almost more apparent than it has been for longer than I can remember, really. And I think we're sowing the seeds for even more division further down the line, and that's a very hard thing to do, to come in here and to make paintings about the city when perhaps I'm thinking, hold on a minute, this is the wrong way to go about doing things, and I don't feel happy about that, but and that needs to fit into my work somehow. It needs to feed into the work, and I need to somehow put that into these paintings as well, because it's something that I'm concerned about, I'm worried about, and bringing up children in the city, which is where I want to bring them up here. I want them to be a part of the city, and they love it, but they're obviously, I'm thinking about their future in the city. That's a very natural thing. I wish they were talking about that in art college, really, because you in any creative act, you give so much of yourself that you're kind of hollow afterwards. It takes a while to sort of refill yourself, and there's nothing wrong with stopping work for and doing something completely different for a few months, you know, and rebuilding yourself and getting back to it, you know. In fact, that time is probably as important as the time you spend in the studio. Unfortunately, you know, I say all that, but I'm my worst enemy because I will just come back to work and I'll just start again. You know, because I'm on that roll, you know, and that's what I do. And if I don't come to the studio, then it's like a fisherman wanting to go out to fish, you know, and you know, you the thought is that there's stuff out there that you want to get and you want to haul it back and bring it in, and if you don't go, then you might not find what you're looking for, and you know, so I have to kind of turn up here, and I do probably come back too early after a show. You know, that's my own madness really, but yeah, that hollow period is a very important part of creativity, you know, and I think it's not really talked about much, because if you're in that state of mind, you think, oh no, it's all finished, it's all gone, I can't do this again, you know, I can't get back to that level that I was at, you know, and maybe you can't, but the only way you're going to find out is by refilling yourself properly and then going back to work and trying to see what's there.